Good afternoon. You're watching Highway Tomorrow. I'm here with Gede Geswin,
Yes,
who you were born in Bali.
yes.
Where?
North of Bali, Singaraja.
Oh, Singaraja. I love it up there.
Yeah, the district is called Kubur Tambahan.
Yeah, that's a beautiful area.
Yes.
Well, how did you become a personal trainer?
It's a long story.
Well, let's hear it.
Yeah, in the beginning of the high school, I went up to Ubud.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's just like many other Balinese. We were
Uh-huh.
working in the tourist
Uh-huh.
industry.
Right.
Then after a while, I did this and that. But I was always interested in health and fitness.
Good.
So my first acquaintance with this weightlifting was when I was
Uh-huh.
21. It was 2001.
Okay.
So back then I had no clue. But again, I'm always interested in it.
Right.
And I read lots of stuff about it. So through trial and error, it was kind of, I cannot say coincidence,
Uh-huh.
because I had some other things. It was like
Sure.
business. Before the pandemic, we had a guest house
Right.
in Beijing,
Okay.
but that lasted only for 2 years
Okay.
because of the pandemic. And then
Okay.
I had no clue what to do.
Right.
I had so
For
much
sure.
time.
You're good. Don't worry.
Yeah, I had so much time on my hand, and I was trying
Right.
to figure out what to do. And then finally, so why not training people?
Sure.
I'm good at it.
Do you base your, so have you like studied online? Did you take any courses in school? Or, where does your knowledge base come from?
No, there was nothing from school about it. And I didn't take a formal education about this
Okay.
thing, but it was just based on my liking of it. And
Uh-huh.
also I did lots of online course during
Uh-huh.
the pandemic. There was a lot of this webinar.
Yeah.
So I spent quite a load of time following all these people and bought some programs, some course that I had to pass.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
And that's how it started.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm always happy with this thing.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that's all.
So I know when I look online
Mhm.
and follow fitness influencers,
Yeah.
I'm constantly seeing things like, if you want to lose 10 pounds, do these 3 exercises, What do you think about that approach? Because obviously that's not really how to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
How do-
obviously. Obviously.
I mean, because you get these like, great looking guys, great looking women. It kind of feels like they're selling themselves more than, their knowledge of fitness.
Yeah, nowadays, unfortunately, lots of things are money driven or
Yeah.
profit driven. And one of the best way to catch attention is just do this for quick result.
Right.
People don't want this long hard process.
Right.
So I mean that is the way to get the people's attention to make money fast.
Do you tell your clients in the beginning that it's a lifelong process? It's not gonna, they're not gonna have a beautiful body in 1 month.
Yeah,
You know?
that is always every time when someone approaching me,
Uh-huh.
they have interest in hiring me as a trainer. I always offer free consultation,
Uh-huh.
and during consultation, I explain to them what they have to do, what kind of discipline, and what they have to expect
Uh-huh.
in a certain period of time, and basically, I like to make them very aware that it's a hard work, it's a long life thing, and some people like to hear what I said, and some
Right.
people don't.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think that's why I was interested in having a conversation with you as I watch you when you're training people, and you clearly skip the bullshit. You don't make promises. You're not. Most of your clients seem to be dedicated to working for a while
Yeah.
and not expecting to like walk out of the gym, with a great body after 24 hours.
yeah, that's it.
Unlike some of the trainers I see in there.
Yeah, that's because I boldly, in a sense, I tell them upfront.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you have to do this. If that is possible, if that works out with you, then there will be some result. Otherwise, nothing I can do to help you.
Sure. So with your clients, do you have, if you were to look at all of your clients right now, is there a general age distribution? Is there a mostly male, mostly women, mostly people that are ongoing in their fitness journey or new, for instance, or is it just all over the board?
Yeah, the age range is at the moment from 20s up
Hmm.
to 60s.
Okay.
So male and female, they equally both same
Hmm.
in number,
Uh-huh.
and most of them are beginners.
Okay. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, most of them are beginners,
Okay.
and I always keep reminding them that it's a long life journey
Good.
if you want some good health and good fitness as well.
I was going to ask you then, what is your key to motivating a beginner who comes in with unrealistic expectations?
I would say that I tell them to be realistic. That it's there is no instant things in the
Mm-hmm.
sense that if you want to get the result, if you want to be a healthy or a fit body, you have to do the work.
Sure.
So I never hard on them. So
Mm-hmm.
I meet them where they are,
Mm-hmm.
and every time we do something, I have to ask them whether they are feeling comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And when they say yes, I do it, and we do it, and then I give it a little bit.
Mm.
It's like a little increment every time
Okay.
because we are
Okay.
just human sometimes.
I think
You know.
one of the things that obviously I'm a lot older than most of the people that are working out in there,
Yeah.
and a lot of my friends that are up in my age would like to kind of start this kind of process. And of course, I look in the gym and I look at all these, young, fit, 30, even 40-year-olds,
Yeah.
and I think to myself, let's see where you are in 20, 30 years, when you haven't gotten, waylaid by having children and disease and
Yeah.
problems and financial and all the life. In other words, life
Life
is going to hit
everything.
you
Yeah.
and interrupt your journey, your
Mm.
fitness journey, so to speak. What do you think would what do you see as a way of keeping people motivated? I mean, I would love to go into the future, 20 years, and see all these people working out at age
Mm.
60.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yet I know that most likely, if we go 20 years into the future, there's going to be maybe one, maybe two.
Yeah, it's true when they are young, they have plenty of time, they have plenty of energy, so life is not really an issue.
Yeah.
So in order to keep them to keep going when they are old, I would say if they see their peers
Uh huh.
that go
Yeah.
through something,
Right.
or if they start to feel something
Right.
in the sense of they start to feel that they decline,
Right.
their health is declining,
Yeah.
and they start to rely on doctor or
Right.
medication,
Right.
I think that will be a good motivation for them.
Uh huh. Good for
And
you. Yeah, that's right. I hadn't thought of that. That's very good.
because yeah, in the long run, it's all about the life quality.
Right.
There's no point to live long when you have to just rely
When
on
you're
this medication.
miserable and in pain.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's, I mean, yeah, there's no point, I would say,
Right.
in that sense, if we talk about
Right.
quality. So
Well,
that I would,
okay. Yeah. What would you say of all your clients that you've had? Tell me like your number one success story, and if you don't mind sharing it, your number one disappointment.
uh, my number one success story is that yeah, there's a guy. I mean, in terms of gain, let's say in terms
Uh
of
huh.
gain, there was a guy, he came here with a injured knee,
Uh huh.
and he was hiring me to build his upper body
Oh,
while
awesome.
waiting for
Okay.
the injured knee to heal.
Okay.
And since then, he's feeling good. He's seeing some result, and then he keeps doing it.
Uh huh.
The idea was just a couple of months,
Right.
just to get waiting to get the knee healed.
Uh huh.
But until then, we worked already for about 6 or 7 months now.
Oh,
And
awesome.
this is good progress. She gained lots of muscle. He's in his 30s. And my disappointment was that there was a lady. She was referred by one of my old clients.
Uh huh.
she looks pretty fit. She's pretty
Right.
slim, and she's in her 50s.
Okay.
And she came to me and asked me that she got my contact from her friend, and she
Right.
said that she liked to stay in shape because that is important for her, knowing her age.
Right.
And so we did it a couple of times, and there was one day she showed up and asked me, "Do I have to do it for the rest of my life?"
Wow. Wow.
So it was.
Yeah.
I mean,
What do you say at that point? Yeah.
I say, well, yes, you have to in a sense,
Right.
but there's a good chance that you don't have to be as intense as we are doing at the
Yeah.
moment, because
Yeah.
once you build the muscle, it doesn't take so much to maintain, and you
Uh-huh.
can come here just once a week just to
Right.
maintain the muscle that you gain or you build, and that should be okay once a week, but don't stop, because
Right.
once you stop, then this the what is that, the word, the muscle shrink.
Yeah.
When the muscle
The muscle shrink. Sure.
Yeah, there's a term.
Atrophy.
Yeah, atrophy. That's the word for that. I can
Yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah, because once you hit your 40,
Right.
then the muscle shrink or declining is just
Yeah.
beyond imagination.
Right.
So what we do here with this weightlifting, we keep sending signal to offset that decline,
Right.
that muscle atrophy. So
Yeah.
that's what we do. So that I was, in a sense, I mean, it was a bit sad to hear that she had to say that.
And did she quit?
Unfortunately, yes.
Wow.
But I was telling her, as much as you can, just do something, anything
Right.
that keeps you, just do some movement.
Right.
Because-
Right. Right. I think
Because-
in my own case, I know that when I came here, I was in terrible shape from several bouts of cancer and
Mhm.
stuff, and I really, decided I can either smoke cigarettes and eat ice cream in front of the TV the rest of my life, or I can get off my butt, and do something about it. And obviously, I got off my butt and tried to do something about it.
I'm happy for
But
you.
I'm 3 years in, feeling good about what I've got, but at the same time I've been extremely intense, as you've seen me,
Yeah.
in my workouts, and I kind of do want to back off on that. I don't want to be, I don't want I sometimes feel like my life has now revolved around my gym.
Yeah.
And I want to, I have a great life, I'm not complaining, but I
Yeah.
want to sort of steady out a routine that'll sustain me through life. And that's
Yeah.
kind of the transition I'm in right now. So give me some advice.
Well, in your case, you just maybe just 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times a week. 3 times is maximum with this,
Okay.
because weight training is a lot of stress to the body.
Right.
So what you have to do is just do 3 of these movements.
Okay.
One lower body is like a squat,
Okay.
or a hinging.
Yeah.
That is one, and then
Right.
second, do push, any kind of horizontal or vertical
Right.
push, and the last one, do one of this horizontal pull or
Uh-huh.
vertical pull.
Uh-huh.
You need only do those 3,
Okay.
because that is our.
I'm a little worried that I'm not worried, but I know that part of what I'm going through right now is I'm hooked on that feeling I get when I give it an all-out effort and I stop and I'm just like, my brain is high,
Yeah.
and I'm physically, sometimes I'm collapsing on the floor, I'm barely able to get up, and I'm loving that feeling. I really love that feeling, and I'm thinking, can I keep going like this? Can I keep going like this? And probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for as long as I can, because it does feel really good, but it's not something I expected to happen.
Well, I think in everything there is something called, it's like a runner's high.
Yeah,
And all of these things, even here in the gym,
Uh-huh.
you can have this weightlifting high as well.
yeah.
But in that case, I would say you're doing it a little bit too much.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because and it's that you realize that, because that's not necessarily
Uh-huh.
at all.
Right.
So
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're feeling good, why not?
Right, right, yeah, exactly. I
All are
know.
different.
Yeah, yeah.
So in that case, I would say that just do it moderately.
Try to go back. Yeah, I'm trying to cut back and be more moderate.
Yeah, be more moderate and try not to be motivated by that high what you're
Right.
feeling that
Yeah.
because sooner or later you might be addicted
Right.
or dependent on it.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Well, could be
Sure.
not good thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, that's cool. That's great.
Yeah, but that's what I heard. One just do everything in moderation.
Yeah, yeah.
So that thing when you know that you're about to call up or
Uh-huh.
something, that you are on that verge of that acquiring that high feeling, just try to back off a little bit.
Okay. Well, now, Gede, do you mainly train over here at this gym, or do you train at several gyms?
There's another one down in Lord Dundu,
Okay.
Boom Gym, and
Okay.
there's two places where I train my clients at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I assume it's okay if I give them your WhatsApp number if people watch this and want to get in contact with you. That's okay?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's probably the best way to get in contact with you?
Yeah, I'm always happy to help people.
Okay.
And I have no age limitation.
Yeah, like I say, I've always been impressed with the way you work with your clients. I think it's really, because, I see so many, I mean, quite frankly, I see a lot of trainers who have gotten themselves in shape and think that all they have to do is translate that to help somebody else.
Yeah, yeah.
And you clearly know that you have to tailor it to that individual. And I watch you do that every day, and I'm so impressed with the way you work with people and the fact that they come back, and seem to be at the end of the workout, they seem to have had fun, which is so important.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to come back.
That's for sure.
I mean, I remember getting a personal trainer one time, and they tortured me. They were like, okay, we're going to do lunges. And I'm like, oh, God, And it's like after 2 workouts, I was like, this isn't working out for me. So.
Well, yeah, because not everybody is like us. I mean, especially like me, that I'm a weight enthusiast in that sense. I don't mind the torture, but again, like I said, I have to meet where they are.
Yeah.
And it has to be fun. And at the same time as well, I have to deliver some result as well.
Yeah.
So after a while, it's not a homework anymore.
Right.
Because I got my experience and all these years. It's just that the main thing for me is that I like them to keep doing it.
Right.
I like it. I like to make it fun for them.
Okay.
So they're coming back because I know how important it is.
Right.
For our health in that sense. And fitness. I mean, along the way, when you get a nice, lean physique, then it's a big bonus.
Okay.
Yeah, the main thing is a health. That is very important. If you chase this look or aesthetic, then you sacrifice your health.
Right.
And vice versa.
Right.
And I like them to come back. They enjoy it. So they make it very enjoyable in that sense.
How much of now we're going to switch gears for a minute. How much do you get involved in nutrition and diet with your clients?
That is an excellent question.
Yeah, because that's a tough one.
Tough, yes.
That's hard.
So I'm doing it for 2 years now. Training clients, exactly 2 years now. And by now I can make a conclusion. Is that head-to-head training is easier.
Right.
Training is much easier.
It really is.
Yeah, than diet.
Yeah.
Than diet.
Yeah.
Because diet has lots of these psychological things as well in that sense.
Right.
So this is how it works. During the consultation, I have 3 columns.
Okay.
First, what is their fitness goal?
Okay.
The second, how often can they come? How serious they want?
Right.
They want the result. And the third, what diet?
Okay.
So I ask them first, at least write down your fitness goal.
Right.
And then how often? Most of them are 2 or 3 times a week. And then the last one, the diet. I give them option.
Okay.
One is regular, so it's like most of people eat.
Right.
And then the second is plant-based.
Okay.
I have a box. They have to tick. And the third one is specific.
Okay.
Because I don't know, there can be specific things that they eat.
Okay.
So if they take the regular box, it's easier for me because I can make some suggestion, recommendation, this and this based on my experience. if they take plant-based,
Okay.
I have no experience about plant-based, but I always emphasize how important it is to eat adequate amount of protein in one
Sure.
day.
And we get a lot of plant-based diet people here in Bali, of
Yes.
course. You know.
And the last one is specific because they can be carnivore, they can be
Uh-huh.
fruitarian,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can be this and that. But if they think that, just I always emphasize that please, whatever you do, just
Uh-huh.
try to get enough protein.
Okay.
Because without enough daily protein intake, is in a way the body will be able to rebuild
Right.
what we break down here in the
Okay.
gym. So
And
everything else.
protein, normal protein is like 2 grams per kilogram of body weight.
Well, if you are just recreational
Uh-huh.
or you are not a competitive
Right.
bodybuilder, I would say 1.2 up to 1.6. That's the best
Per kilogram.
per kilogram.
Oh,
You
okay.
don't need 2 grams.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Unless you're a competitive bodybuilder,
Okay.
then you need about it. Otherwise,
Oh, okay.
1.2 up to 1.6. That's it.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Yeah. What do you when you meet people and go over this? What are like the top 3 things that people do wrong in their diet?
The top 3 things. First is definitely how much of protein they get it wrong because they think what they have is a lot of what they take is already a lot of protein during the day, and that is the biggest thing.
So
But
people
again,
operate in a protein deficit.
I would say 98.
Really?
Yes, up to
Interesting. Okay.
98%.
Okay.
Yeah, they get it wrong
Oh,
because
wow. Okay.
because yeah, first protein is very essential thing.
Yeah.
You make it full.
Right.
And then it's just not fun to eat lots of protein.
Right.
Thing. And the second is we are not used to with that kind of a high amount of protein in one
Interesting.
day.
Okay.
And that is the first. And the second is the carbs or the fat in that sense. They don't know how much
Uh-huh.
because lots of them they don't want to measure.
Right.
So I don't weigh my food. Well, if that is the case, then I don't
How
know.
do you know? Right. How do you know?
How do you know?
Right.
And the third, even when they get enough protein throughout the day, the distribution also important.
Uh-huh.
Let's say if you
Oh, throughout the day you
throughout
mean.
the day.
Okay.
So if you eat 3 times a day, then at least every time you eat,
Uh-huh.
make sure that you eat at least 1/3
Uh-huh.
of your daily protein
Okay.
needs in that sense. Yeah.
Rather than getting it all in one meal.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not the way to do it. No.
Should people generally be eating 6 small meals throughout the day, do you think? Or can they get by on keto diets and fasting and, you know?
It goes back it goes back to what do you want to optimize for.
Okay.
If you're underweight, then it's
Uh-huh.
good to have six
Okay.
meals a day.
Okay.
But if you're just to maintain two times,
Okay.
it's good. And
Okay.
if you want to seriously build muscle, at least
At
4
least
times a day.
3, 4
If you want
times a
to
day.
seriously build muscle,
Yeah.
because and for lots of these overweight
Uh-huh.
people, I would recommend just 1 meal a day is good.
Right.
Because
Interesting.
the more you eat, then your
Right.
insulin spikes so
Spikes.
often.
Right.
And nowadays we have lots of stress on our day-to-day life,
Right.
and that the cortisol is always high.
Right.
And that makes you store energy.
I know that in tracking my diet and doing meal prep,
Yeah.
you know, it's like a pain in the ass, you know, and you're like, okay, well, what's the macro composition of this one egg? And if you Google it online, you'll get 5 different answers.
Yes.
But I do know that after I've done it for a while, I'm pretty good at being able to guess. And I think that's what I tell people is that, like, yes, it's a lot of trouble, it's a lot of work, but if you could just do it for 1 month,
Yeah.
you don't have to do it the rest of your life.
That's true.
You know, you can become very good at, because I know just recently I'd been tracking everything, and me and my partner went to Vietnam.
Yeah.
And of course, the food there is incredible,
Yeah.
but it's very heavily plant-based.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredibly healthy, and it was so nice to be able to look at what we were getting and know that, like, okay, that's about 350, 400 calories.
Yes, yes.
You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and to be able to figure it out that way.
Yeah.
And so I tell people that, like, if you'll just do it for 1 month, yeah, it's weighing and oh god, it drives you crazy.
Because for lots of people it's quite a hassle.
Right, it is. It's a hassle.
And you don't go out every time with your food scale.
Right, right.
But yeah, 1 month that's pretty good. You can go as short as 7 days.
Oh, really? You
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you can figure it out in 7 days?
7 days, yes, you can.
That's pretty good.
Because then you start to build the skill of
Right.
to be able to eyeball.
Right.
This is a
right.
kind of
Oh, good.
protein.
Okay.
This kind of protein, or this about this much and this one.
Cool.
But the other way to do it, is just try this amount of food and weigh yourself every week.
Uh-huh.
And for the same kind of physical activity.
Right.
Then if you lose something 1 week, in 1 week time, then you're good. You're on deficit.
Awesome.
If you maintain something, then just keep doing it.
Keep doing it,
if
right.
you add something in 1 week, then that is definitely that is a surplus. In caloric. That's one of the easiest ways to do it.
Okay. One more thing.
Yeah.
How do I motivate people my age who either maybe were athletic in their younger days but haven't been for 20, 30 years, or even worse, are brand new? If I was their trainer, what would you tell me to do for them? To tell them or to show them, or how would I get them started?
Yeah, motivation. It has a lot to do with this, with a why.
Yeah.
Why would I do it?
Why?
Yeah. So that why would be, for everyone is different, but in general, as you said, that it's a quality of life. When you think about, I start to feel achy on my knee, my lower back, and then I cannot live without this medication.
Right.
So motivation for that will be just think about the quality, life quality.
Okay.
Because if you don't do it, the thing just getting worse.
Right.
Down the hill, and it's very fast.
Well, good. That's kind of, I was wanting to see if I was right, because I generally approach it with, like, you know, how do you feel in the morning? How does your hip feel? How does your arm feel?
Yeah.
Well, let me show you what you could do before you even get out of bed that'll make walking the rest of the day much more comfortable. Yeah,
because in many cases, when you start to feel pain in any part of your area, like your joint, like back, most of the time, the main cause is the weakness.
The weakness,
Yeah, the weakness in terms of muscle or tendon. So as we're getting older, unfortunately, the sarcopenia, that is the term, the muscle atrophy.
Okay.
Yeah. So they start to weakening if we don't do something about it.
Sure.
So one is lose its strength, then definitely sending the signal. Then you start to feel the pain.
Awesome.
So when you do weight training, definitely it will help to offset. Once you get your muscle strength, it offset that first the sarcopenia, and second it's improve your life quality. So something what you were unable to do before then.
Awesome. Well, listen, thank you a million. Thanks for sitting down with me.
Yeah.
I think you're fantastic. I think people are really going to enjoy hearing what you say.
Well,
and
thank you.
Keep it up. I enjoy seeing you work out with people. And thank you all for tuning in and staying on the highway tomorrow.
Okay.
I've been with Gede, Geswin, for all day, and thank you so much, man. Take care.
Thank you.
Highway tomorrow.